All right, hello and welcome. My name is Michael Jobity, and I'll be hosting this live stream today, as well as the awards ceremony on the 7th and 8th of December at the Ealing Picture House Cinema in West London. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Miraband UK Film Awards, powered by the Miraband Company and founded by our festival director and founder, Jay Manari, who is also an independent writer, producer, director, and member of Directors UK. The Miraband UK Film Awards, or MUFA, is a British BFI Film Fund-winning film festival listed on the British Council Festival Directory and London-based, focused on showcasing diversity in haute movies, created despite all the challenges of an indie low-budget production. Miraband provides a spotlight for underrepresented, emerging, and experienced independent filmmakers through on-site networking events, live-streamed industry talks, online film courses, and most recently, an independent film fund launched to support the making of more independent short films. If you haven't done so yet, please check out our affordable festival tickets, just £20 for 2 days of screenings and panels. And don't miss the limited film industry tickets, which offer exclusive industry access. Subscribe to our art house focused streaming platform, Streamo, to watch all the officially selected candidates of this edition and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. Let's get the ball rolling with our first guest. Please welcome Graeme Nimmo from the UK, shortlisted for Best Animation Short with their film, Our Morning View. A father and teenage daughter's relationship becomes strained after the passing of his wife and her mother. The daughter becomes immersed in her mobile phone as her father tries desperately to connect with her. All right, and with that, let's jump into the Q&A. So welcome so much, Graeme. Thank you for being here. Amazing film. I personally love animated shorts, so this is one of my favorites. So kind of jumping into it. So the story itself, right, with a focus on, I think it's very relevant to today when you're looking at social media, the addiction that we have to our phones. What led you to this story specifically?
Sorry, 1 second. No, I'm only joking.
You got me.
Well, it's kind of, I don't want to bum out your audience too much, but it was a way to deal with grief for me, was to process and make this animation. And it was basically trying to figure out what kind of a father I would be if I was in the situation where I lost my wife and had to raise a daughter on my own. And especially in this digital age, as you know, with phones and taking up the time of everyone, not just teenagers, but, you know, adults ourselves. So that was really what I wanted to kind of explore. And because I work for a company where I do animations that enhance texts for schools, I kind of wanted to make a discussion around grief in the classroom. I know, fun. But I think we as a society aren't able to talk about grief that well. So I think, you know, this was a way in, a shoe in, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. And before I jump into my next questions, I want to hand it over to Jade if he has any questions for you.
Sure.
Yes, of course. No, it's beautiful to see a short going straight to the point, and you know, it's one of those super shorts, but it speaks volumes, and it's hard to summarize, you know, the feelings that, especially in relationship, especially with, you know, I find often movies that talk about teenage life, they come from judgmental perspective. And I like the fact that this one actually is creating a bridge and is trying to understand where this isolation, sort of self-isolation, is brought out from. And my main interest was a technical one when it comes down to animations. I was wondering if this started as hand-drawn kind of animation, if it's all hand-drawn, or if it's, you know, supported by digital means as well. What's your basically, you know, sort of format when you work on animation?
Yeah, well, it started off as a hand-drawn animation, like you said, but it was hand-drawn within Photoshop. So as a labor of love, I really wanted to sort of recreate that kind of nice magic of old Walt Disney movies, you know, like Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, the things that I sort of was raised on. And then about 2 years in, I quickly realized this is actually a penance. And it was taking a long time. but it was taking a long time because I was only allowed or allocated 1 day a week to work on it. I couldn't get into full steam. So I went to my producer and line manager and asked, could I get some help? And we very quickly found a brilliant, talented animator called Selena Wagner, who said, why are you doing it in Photoshop hand-drawn? You can do it in character animator and you can get the same effect. So those with a keen eye will be able to spot perhaps the subtle differences in, I hope not. I mean, the idea was for it to be a coherent thing, but yeah, you'll see that some scenes are made differently. So I maybe should have started in character animator because she was able to, so I did half hand-drawn and then the other half Selena managed to finish herself. So that's how we did it.
Yeah, I guess just
that sounds very. I was just saying it's very interesting to know the full path story, and I mean, I guess digital came in and to just move at a better pace, but you didn't compromise the originality and the fact that it started as an undrawn project.
Yeah, well, the really good thing that I found, and it was completely by accident, was that I did so detailed storyboards that the storyboards actually acted as keyframes for the animation. So it was a case of just doing the in-betweens, really. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, I think a follow-up question on that. For animation specifically, what do you feel that you were able to showcase or exemplify in animation that you wouldn't have been able to exemplify if you did it, with live people? What is it about animation that really allows the story and the themes to come across more clearly?
That's a really good question. I think animation is probably, in my view, one of the best vehicles for conveying really large themes in a digestible way to the audience. Take, for example, I've got 2 kids at the moment, and so we have Bluey on repeat every morning. And every morning I'm in tears because they just really cuts to the point. And I think any kind of medium that can do that within the space of, say, 3 to 10 minutes is, it's amazing. So yeah, that's why I love animation. It just cuts to the heart. Yeah. And I also, I read something recently about, I think it was Inside Out, has changed the language with child psychology and how they're able to talk to children and teenagers, that they're using the characters from Inside Out as a way of expressing who's at the control panel right now, and talking about emotions. So I think animation has a really big part to play in how we deal with our emotions.
Yeah, that's
and
really...
I want to actually,
go ahead.
Just jumping in because often, especially people that are of a different generation, they perceive animation or animated shorts as something for kids. Do you want to say something about that and try to encourage more adults to actually, come close to these stories, which are, to me, the most beautiful and most direct way to touch human souls. So I just want to try to break that wall, because sometimes, the most stupid thing you hear is that, oh, I'm too old, or I don't watch cartoons because they're for kids.
Yeah, I think for anyone like that, I'd say watch Bluey because that will really, I think animation's for everyone, no matter what age, definitely.
Yeah, I was just going to say one insight that I pulled from what you mentioned is I feel like we are visual people like humans by nature. So when you're talking about how we speak to children now with like the control panel, it's very clear and almost like a mechanism that you can see, right, visually. So I think that's an interesting part of animation that you wouldn't maybe normally get with, filming in a different way. But I think, we are towards the end of the live stream here. I just want to say thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your insights about creating the film and the thinking process, the creative process, and the technical aspect as well, which is really interesting. So just before we finish today, I'm going to go through some quick reminders for the audience for the rest of the live streams, and then we'll finish off. So quick reminder, festival passes are available to purchase on the Miraband website at the link available in the comments section of this live stream and social bios. The Industry Film Forum access is limited. Therefore, make sure to reserve your pass to join mentors, pitch fund presentations, and industry speed dates. The red carpet reception, followed by the award ceremony, will take place at the Ealing Picture House Cinema on the 14th of December. This is when all the winners will be announced and where the Mayor of Ealing will be presenting the Best UK Short and UK Feature Awards. Starting from the 15th of December, all shortlisted films will be available to stream on our platform for 5 weeks. You have the chance to vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award, and the winning filmmaker will receive free access to our festival promotion, funding, and distribution strategies course, along with a 1-year distribution deal on StreamOterm. It's super easy, just register on StreamOterm and add to favorites the film that you want to vote for. With that, I just want to give a special thanks again to yourself, Graeme, and to Jay for being on the call today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Graeme.
appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Thank you, Michael.
You too. Bye.
You too.